Hey guys, hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Kshitij, aka the Rustic Wanderer. I've been quite over here for a few days or a short gap because I got busy with research work and the weather here was nice for a few days. And if you know Finland, you know that summer doesn't last here too long. So I was busy enjoying swimming in the open waters, learning some outdoor skating skills. If you haven't checked out my vlog on inline skating, I'll put it up in the I button above so you can take a look. So today we are starting a new vlog, and this time after a busy work week, I'm planning to spend some overnight camping days. Well, actually one night and 2 days at a nearby island called Hailuoto. So this is the largest island in the Gulf of Bothnia and is located in the north of Finland. The plan is to go there tomorrow, which is going to be a weekend. And today I'll be going out to get some groceries that I'd like to bring with me. It's a small island, less than 1,000 people live there. So I'm not really sure what kind of facilities they have on the island, but it's about 30 kilometers away from mainland Oulu. And you could easily take a bus from here. Then there is a connecting ferry to get you to that island. I'll explain more about the route details as I go there, but let's start the vlog. So first things first, I'm gonna grab my grocery backpack and go to a nearby supermarket. I don't have a shopping list, I never do. I'm just gonna look around things and see what I can bring with me. Try to get some things that have a larger shelf life because I'll be camping overnight as well on the island. So I'll try to bring some things that don't spoil that easy. And although the weather is not so warm, but you know, they should survive in my backpack. That's the idea. So come along and see my grocery shopping haul for a camping trip. I do have a little supermarket, which is a German chain in my neighborhood, but I try to look for a bigger supermarket with more choices. This is a bit small one. This one is a much bigger chain. It's a Finnish chain called the S Market and it's 24 hours. So let's go inside and see what options do we have. Going to the bigger supermarket was indeed a good idea. Here I'm passing by Lidl again. It's the one I showed you before. The bigger supermarket had a lot more choices. So I grabbed some snacks and some main dishes and some meat to grill as well while camping. I hope I can find a good camping spot. Now to get back home and start packing. So I made it back home. Here's all my stuff. Time to get to pack. Some of the food, especially the sandwiches or the meat that I need to grill tomorrow, which is going to be the dinner during the camping time. I've left it in the fridge to grab it at the last minute, and I grabbed a few mostly healthy things, but a few unhealthy things like a brownie, a few chips, ready-made coffee just for fun, some protein bars as you would want to call it, but these are all natural. They have berries, fruits, nuts in them, 100% raw. I really like the flavor. So there are like 3-4 different flavors, some protein shakes, hammock, mosquito net for the hammock, tree straps, my hydration pack, it's 3-liter hydration pack, helps to grab some water on the go. This is something that I'm gonna unbox tomorrow. So you have seen this Kopilka fire steel before in my DIY camping rig. So if you haven't checked out the vlog, I'll link it in the I button above. But the one thing that I realized with the DIY camping rig was, the tin cans that I used at the time, they are only one-time use. Because of the heat, they melt, because of the way you have to open up the hole for all the air circulation and stuff. So I got a replacement for that, and this we're going to discuss when I set up my camp tomorrow. And some bread, non-stick saucepan, this one, in case if I want to cook something, maybe instant noodles or something. I'll grab a pack of instant noodles just in case, because if all else fails, at least boiling the water and just throwing in instant noodles inside should work. So time to put all of this into this backpack. This is a smaller backpack. So if you have checked out my previous video where I showed you my what's in my backpack when I travel around the world, That's a bigger backpack for a bit longer trip. This is just a weekend getaway, so I don't really need to bring that backpack. Plus, the idea is to walk most part of the island, even though there are some public transport there. I saw that from the eastern tip to the western tip, or I guess it's a bit inverted when you're seeing the video. But anyways, from one side to another along this way, the island is 30 kilometers wide, which is pretty much walkable. It should take about 6 hours from one tip to another. And the way I'm planning my route is to land up in the middle of the island first and then start venturing out from there. So that would require a lot of water and some electrolytes. I got myself a Gatorade, a lot of protein shakes, bananas. There would also be strawberries. So I think I'm all good in terms of food and stuff. So just to pack things up and prepare for the camping trip. Since I plan on walking quite a bit of the island and camping overnight, I guess I'm going to be very tired the next day that I wake up. So I'm just going to do a little hack. So this is the regular coffee filter and this is the regular coffee that I've been making at home with the coffee machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one serving of coffee that I normally make inside the filter and then tie a knot on the top because I'll have a camping setup, so I'll be able to boil some water. And if everything goes as per plan and if the weather is nice, I'm just going to throw this inside the boiling water and it's just going to make fresh coffee for me without a coffee machine. And then I'm going to bring this Finnish Kuksa with me, which is a very typical kind of coffee mug. And then I'm going to enjoy a fresh brewed coffee at the campsite, which is going to be amazing. I hope the views are going to be nice as well. So let me prepare this real quick in preparation for, waking up the day after spending a night at my makeshift campsite. Oh, and just in case if you're wondering why I did the grocery shopping today if I'm about to leave tomorrow, that's because I will start the journey early in the morning, somewhere around 7:30 a.m. I still have to check the route. It's going to take about 1.5 hours to get to the island of Hailuoto, and the grocery stores may or may not be open that early in the morning, and I might not have time to get the stuff that early. And that island is a bit small, as I said, less than 1,000 inhabitants, so there might be a few grocery stores, but the choices might be very limited. So I wanted to be prepared and bring as many things as I could, because here is still a bigger city and I had a few more choices. Alright, so packing and everything is done. Time to take some good night's sleep. I have about 6 odd hours of sleep that I can get. So I will see you in the morning. And before I go to bed, check out this awesome midnight sky. Such amazing views. Very good morning, everyone. It's 6 in the morning. I'm up early and had a good night's sleep. Today is the day when I start the trip. So today we get ready and then we head out to the bus station so that we can grab the ferry and head out to the island. So the first step is go to the central bus station where there are buses that go to Hailuoto. So that's where I'm going now. It seems like I missed a few stops to get to the central bus station. So now I'm working on a plan B to get to the ferry pier another way, and then I'll figure out how to get to the island on the other side. So we are somewhere here, and somewhere here is the ferry terminal. So this much distance. So it turns out because I missed the bus at the central bus station because of some confusion with the bus stops. Now there is no other way to get to the ferry terminal until midday, but that's too late because it's just 8:30 a.m. So the idea is to walk 17 kilometers, get to the ferry terminal, and then figure out if they'll let me board the ferry on foot. Otherwise, 1 hour later, this bus is going to pass through the ferry terminal anyway, so I'll figure out a plan B and see how it unfolds. Pretty interesting start to the trip, huh? I just spotted these two kinds of bus stops, the blue one and yellow one. Does anybody know the difference? That awkward moment when Google brings you to a dead end and then wants you to run across the highway. Let me try and show it to you. And that's a freaking highway where the speed limit is 80 kilometers an hour, and I either go that way or straight to the dead end. GG Google. So I have to adapt and improvise. I'm retracing my path back along through these bushes because across the street over there I spotted an underpass. So hopefully from there I'll be able to go on to the other side and continue the route. Let's try. This looks like some sort of a rest station by the highway. Seems to have some restaurants for snacks. I'm guessing they have kebabs and stuff. A gas station, 24-hour gas station, which is pretty cool. And that's the highway right here. This looks quite different from the ones that we have in India. Interesting. We finally start to see our destination, Hailuoto, 51 kilometers by road, but we're going to Oulu. Oulu is where the ferry terminal is, so let's go. And that's the fun part of being on foot. You can stop whenever you see something interesting. So that board was really interesting because it shows the checkpoints, especially the distance to destination, which is something very exciting. Quick check-in, it's about 10 a.m. We've done about 7 kilometers so far, 10 more to go. I'm thinking of taking a short snack break after I'm done with 10 kilometers. So it's like a halfway mark. Looks like there is a ski resort on the way. That's interesting. That board for the ski resort was the first time I saw a board with a GPS coordinate. So I thought of including that in my vlog, and I'll leave it there just in case somebody wants to visit that ski resort, can find it useful. So it's about 10:45 a.m. I've done 10.5 kilometers in 2 hours and about 15 minutes. Keeping up pretty good pace. Quite hungry now, so I stopped here by a tiny patch of forest. I'm actually kind of near a big junction of highways, and I have to go over to the other side. And as usual, Google just says go right through the highway in the middle of cars cruising by at 100 kilometers per hour, which obviously is not feasible. So I'm gonna take a snack break first, have some breakfast, a sandwich and some protein shake first before I try and figure out how to go over on the other side. I'm almost halfway there, kind of pretty close to the harbor side. That's why the wind is also a bit cold here. So let's enjoy a snack break first. Looks like this way is the way out. Managed to figure a way out for the pedestrians. As you can see, we are approaching the Oulu area, which has the airport and also the ferry port. So let's keep going. So I was just doing a quick check on Google Maps how far I am. So it's been 3 hours and 15 kilometers down. Turns out it's not 17, it's 30 kilometers. 30. So I'm halfway there. Another 3 hours or so to go. I'm very close to the seaside or whatever that water body is. "14 kilometers to go. Let's do this." If you've heard the joke of the Finnish luxury, that's what it looks like. A hut in the middle of nowhere, just fun. Would be pretty cool to live here for a short while, but long term, maybe not. Time check, it's been 4 hours. I've covered 20 kilometers and I've now stopped for a bit of a Gatorade break before the last 10 kilometers. So when I'm traveling, I often include these kind of endurance walks that are between 20 to 40 kilometers a day. Normal pace, medium fast paced, and that's why I call them the rustic boot camps. You can enjoy as much as food you like, you can sleep as much as you want, but because of these kind of endurance walks that are integrated in the trips, you'll often come out fitter and stronger by the end of the trip. So also one thing that I keep in mind is not to carry too much water on me. I try to stay hydrated through alternative sources, such as sources for electrolytes. Could be fruits, could be energy drinks, not necessarily things like Red Bull and high caffeine drinks, but alternate sources, for example those that are high on electrolytes. So if you're from countries like Hong Kong, or if you have a decathlon around you, you might have seen things like Pocari Sweat. So that or any other similar alternative would do. Try to keep the water intake to as nominal as possible, but stay hydrated and replenish your electrolytes. Another pro tip for carrying water in your backpack is to bring a hydration bladder with you as opposed to a regular water bottle. The benefit of a hydration bladder is it has a tube like this, so you could have the water on the go, plus the hydration bladder shrinks as you keep drinking the water. So at the moment I have 3.5 liters of water on me, which I've been drinking on the way, and I've been taking small sips all the way, and it's going to last me quite a while. And it's in 2 bladders. One is like a 3-liter bladder with the tube, and the other one is a reserve bladder that I always keep with myself, just in case if I need extra water for cooking or for drinking or cleaning something, as an emergency reserve. So keep that in mind as well. Ditch your water bottles and things like that, because even if you've consumed the water, they take up the volume in your backpack, as opposed to a hydration bladder which starts to free up the volume until you replenish it. Hope this helps. So I've done 24 kilometers in 4 hours 45 minutes, and the bus that I missed in the morning seems to be arriving in 20 odd minutes. That's the same bus that loads onto the ferry and then goes to the Hailuoto city center. So anyways, I was resting for 20 minutes. I will try and see if I can grab the bus, then well and good. Otherwise, it's about 5 odd kilometers to the ferry terminal, so I'll continue walking as was originally the plan. Let's see what happens and I'll keep you posted. Nope, missed the bus just yet again. It just passed, like, it's 5 minutes ahead of time, but it just passed, and they're cruising at like 80 kilometers per hour, so of course they're not going to stop. So I guess I'm walking. So see you at the ferry port. Finally made it to Hailuoto after a few hiccups. As you saw, I was enjoying the ferry ride, even took a short power nap. Now to find a nice comfy spot to chill, set up the camp, take some rest because already done quite a bit of walking for the day. Most of the exploration I'm planning to do tomorrow. Alright, found an awesome campsite, put down my backpack there already. It's still a little bit close to the highway. I didn't walk too much because I've already done 30 kilometers in 6.5 hours of walking today. Between these two trees, I'll put up my hammock, and there's plenty of wood pile all around, so I could easily set up the fire and cook something. By the way, for the wilderness experts, are these blueberries by any chance? Let me know in the comments below. This isn't a very conventional camping site that people camp on when they come to Hailuoto, but because I missed the bus twice and the other places are like quite far away, 10 kilometers, 20-30 kilometers away, so it's rather too exhausting to do it today. Tomorrow I'll try to wake up early and cover up the things on foot again, because it's the same bus that does these sightseeing spots, which are actually just 2 or 3 of them. So very likely that I would probably not do it. So the idea that I have in mind to do it is, right now I'm on the east coast, very close to the harbor where the boat docked, so the ferry. So the idea would be to go along the way to the west coast where the lighthouse is. It's another signature of this area. On the way I'll pass by the city center, replenish some supplies if needed, charge my phone if needed, stop by a cafe, refresh myself. And then when I'm at the lighthouse, I think the bus starts from there, the same bus. So I'm just gonna hang around there, wait for the bus, hop on the bus, and all the way go home from there. Again, make the plan, execute the plan, wait for it to go off the rails, throw away the plan. I'm sure you've heard of this, and this is pretty much what happens when you're outside your home. Things don't really go as planned, but you have to adapt and improvise. We'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna just sit down, enjoy some soup for now. I'm starving, been walking too much. And then slowly I'll start to set up the hammock and start the fire before the sun goes down. This is why I really love the setup that I have. Tree straps, carabiners, a hammock. Takes less than 2 minutes. Now I just have to put the mosquito net because there are gigantic mosquitoes in the forest. So after a short nap, you can see I set up the mosquito net and hammock and everything. It's time to get the fire going. So I'll open up my Savota wood burner stove and a few other accessories that I like to show you. If you have not seen the DIY BBQ video, I'll link it up in the I button above. So this rig is a slight upgrade to that. A few of the things are still the same. Let me show you what all do I have inside, because this is going to be my stove for cooking the things for the night. So first up is this Savota wood burner stove. As you can see, these are like 0.5 mm machine milled stainless steel plates. So you have 4 panels on the side, a platform, and these small ones are like crisscross that sit on the top. So if you want to put a pan or something, so that's the burner that I have. And you take the wood from the forest, which is plenty here, and then you use that as fuel. To get the fire going, I'll be using this Kupilka fire steel, which I'm sure you've seen in my previous videos as well. I prefer fire steel to matchsticks or other sources. Then to eat, I have this titanium spork, which is also a new addition. So it's made in Sweden, has a spoon, has a fork, and has a decent knife edge as well. And to cook, I have this stainless steel pan. I can make instant noodles or cook something or use it as a dish to eat as well. For the BBQ, I have these light my fire. I think these were called grandpa skewers or something. The way this works, let me show you how it works. So you remove the cover from the top, the skewer opens up, and then you use any stick that you find around and stick it on the top. That's why it's so compact and easy to carry, because it doesn't have the stick, which is the biggest part of a skewer like this. So I'm gonna assemble my stove, get the fire going, so you can see how the stove works as well. That's it. It really is that simple. Now to put the wood inside and get the fire going. Look at the awesome fire burning. No problem at all. There's my camp. There's my ration, food supplies. Time to start cooking. Check out the skewers. You just put them here, let them cook. So cool. So my food is all cooked, barbecued and ready to be eaten. The sun is still shining thanks to the sunsets are pretty late, around midnight. I let the fire run out by itself while I enjoy my food, and after that the plan is to sleep early, recover and start early tomorrow. It's almost 8 p.m. Had an early dinner. The BBQ stove is quite nice investment. I really like it. So glad I bought that one. Put on my headlamp. Never know how dark it can get in the forest. Behind me is the main road, so that way is the harbor, this way is the city. Decided to stop by close to the harbor. It's a bit safer that way in case tomorrow I don't feel like going into the city. I can always go back. The bus here is a bit infrequent. It's a small island after all. In front of me is a small road. Normally I would have stayed close to a water stream, but I was too tired to go find water. Somewhere there I just took a walk, after dinner walk, and I saw there are a few houses and warehouses and stuff. But otherwise it looks like this whole jungle belongs to me for the night. Pretty cool. That already is my campsite. That's the main road, that's the entrance. So as you can see, I didn't go too far. I'd be hearing cars for a while, but that's okay. I'm a sound sleeper, doesn't matter. Laying down in my hammock with the mosquito net. Huge mosquitoes wondering how to bite me, but they can't. Just gonna chill here for a bit and then crash, try to wake up early in the morning, maybe catch a good sunrise, and then off we go for exploring. See you in the morning. Good morning from the campsite. It's 3:45 a.m. Quite wide awake now. Look at the dense fog. Must have been 10 or 12 degrees. That's why it's so chilly, but the mosquitoes are still active. So the plan now is to light the fire one more time to warm up a bit, make some fresh coffee, and then figure out whether we go forward or return back home. So our coffee is brewing, and you see a lot of that smoke because I put in some extra grass. Too many mosquitoes, so it helps kind of scare them away a little bit. Let's wait for the coffee to brew and then we can enjoy. So it's 5:30 a.m. nearly packed up and ready. Hammock, mosquito net, everything is packed. Just waiting for my wood stove to cool down since I just made coffee, and then I'll pack it up and start moving towards the harbor. Bye bye camping site and all the billion mosquitoes. So not gonna miss you. These windmills are actually so huge when you look at them from so close. From a distance they look so small. That is Hailuoto. Look at the sunshine, so bright. Reflection in the sea, that's something I really like. I'm standing quite close to the harbor. As you can see, the windmill that we saw before is here. So I walk close to the windmill. The harbor is here. And behind me, these are public restrooms. Gonna freshen up, and there is also a bench here to rest. So I'm just gonna stay at the benches and relax a little bit, wait for the ferry. The harbor terminal is close by, so wait for the next ferry and then hop over to the other side. So this is the ferry that brings you to and fro between Oulu and Hailuoto. And the concept is really cool. The ferry keeps pointing the same direction and the access ports are on both sides. So the cars like these side, they load one way to get down on Hailuoto, and the ones that come from that side face the other way. And the ferry keeps just keeps going to and fro without having to turn ever. Pretty cool concept, and this is a very iconic ferry. Even goes through when the water is frozen. If you look up Oulu Hailuoto ferry, you're gonna find a ton of images of this ferry. So this is the full map of Hailuoto. I took the ferry, arrived there from Oulu, and I stayed somewhere here, really close to the ferry port. The Marianiemi lighthouse, which is another checkpoint that tourists often like to visit, is over there. Hailuoto, the actual place, is somewhere in the middle there, this yellow portion. And pretty much that's it. There's nothing else to see. So it depends if you have a car or a bike. So the best way to cover Hailuoto is basically on a bike or a rental car or your own car if you have one. I wanted to do the walking. It's not so far, it's 30 kilometers, but since yesterday, because of the hiccup, I already did 30 kilometers. So today would have been a bit too much exertion to do 30 kilometers back to back twice. So I skipped it. And anyways, the lighthouse is on the beach side. It's a signature building, yeah, sure, but it wasn't worth covering 30 kilometers because the bus on the way back is only at 5:30 p.m. There's only one bus apparently on a Sunday. So I had to go 30 kilometers there, then maybe come back either to the city center or wait over there until the time, and only then I'd be able to come back to Oulu. Which was a bit too much. I didn't want to spend so much time over there. Wasn't worth it, so I took the early morning ferry. I'm already on Oulu Island in Oulunsalo, where we board the ferry from. Now I'm just gonna take it easy and get home. Finally, after walking 12.5 kilometers, managed to get the first bus. Now waiting for the second one. That should bring me home. Alright guys, so back in the comfort of my home. Was quite an exciting trip. I had to adapt and improvise quite a bit. Walked quite a bit as well. It was my first overnight hammock camping experience. I used to see other people post picture of overnight camping in a hammock. That's where I got the idea that I should give it a try and see if I like it or not. It was quite a nice experience. I really enjoyed it. First time sleeping out in the forest, especially when the nights are starting to get a little bit chilly now. But all in all, was an exciting experience, and hope you liked the vlog as well. Be sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel as well, and comment down below to let me know what you liked about this video and what more kind of vlogs would you like to see on my channel. This is Rustic Wanderer signing off.